flood of '83 showed me, as a young mayor, the potential of this community. People came out willingly, even joyfully, to help. They loved working together. The businesses in town turned out their trucks, turned out their workers, turned out all kinds of help for us. It really did turn out to be quite a bit of fun, even though it was a massive problem. And so to see people make a good thing out of something that could be really bad was amazing. In what turned out to be almost 2 weeks of extensive flooding, not only in Salt Lake City, but throughout the state of Utah. They were willing to put up their money. We had to raise taxes to build flood control works for the future after the flood. They just saw a problem, they identified it, and they said, we're going to go work on it. They made it happen, and Utahns always deliver when the chips are down.
Like most other people, the moment I became aware that America was under attack is a moment I will never forget. I remember people beginning to call for the Olympic Games to be canceled. Maybe we couldn't do it now because the world would not be a safe place. We all have our experiences and moments. It was a time when there was trauma, but there was also great resolve. This became, very quickly, the first place that the world would gather after 9/11. So obviously it needed to be safe, and we needed to demonstrate that we would not bow, not just as Utahns or Americans, but as people. And we pulled together, and ultimately it became not just a successful games, but a symbol of a resilient and a safe world. Every Olympics is defined by something surprising. In Utah, it was the volunteers. Within a day or two of the games beginning, all of the accredited and non-accredited media began to write about the remarkable people and how they volunteered. The people of this state rallied together in a way that demonstrated to the world that when you have a cause and a purpose, it can be done and it can succeed. And that was the story of the Olympic Games.
We are just getting word of a new education report. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce has released its Leaders and Laggards report card. It's a state-by-state look at K-12 educational effectiveness. Utah's overall grade? A C. Now, there were some bright spots. Utah did get an A on return on investment, and we got an A on use of technology. But we received a C in almost every other category, including post-secondary and workforce readiness, international competitiveness, academic achievement for minorities, and 21st century teacher workforce. We can't settle for a C. 10 years ago, Utah ranked among the nation's top education states. Now, we have slipped to the mid-30s. Utah has an education challenge on its hands. Will we step up this time?
I think every generation of Utahns has faced some challenge that required them to come together. I think there's little question that for Utah, the next generation, it's how do we prepare our children to assure that this sense of place that we have, that the values we have, can in fact endure and prosper. And there's no question that the ability to educate our children is at the heart of that. That is the enduring challenge of this generation, and it will require us to solve that, to unlock the combination in order to assure that not only this generation, but the next can enjoy what we have.
When Utah is faced with a challenge, we step up. And we need to step up for education in Utah.